What up, family? It's your boy Johnny Boy.
And Kristen.
Woo! We're here for another discussion. Now, I do anime reviews, news, live reactions. Check out my channel in the description below. Yeah, and make sure you check out her channel too.
I just do reactions.
Just the reactions. So we're gonna be talking about the Legend of Korra finale. The finale episode, there were a lot of things. Let's talk about ratings for our overall rating before we get into details. I have 3 ratings for it. My first rating is the series rating. I'm sorry, the finale rating for the season. For the season, I give it a 9 out of 10. Now, in terms of the series as a whole, since it is the series finale also, I give it an 8.5 out of 10. But considering the fact that it has such a very small tight budget this season, I give it a 12 out of 10, considering that fact. Very small budget.
I give book 4 a 8.5 out of 10, just because book 3 was my favorite, and because of Nickelodeon, of course, the budget cuts. But what they did with it was obviously past 10 out of 10. And overall, Korra as a series, I would give it a 9 out of 10.
Wow.
Recommend it.
Definitely.
Watch it. If you
Definitely.
don't watch it, go watch it. Stop the video. What are you doing? Just go and
Go
watch it right now. And then come back, because we're at the finale. Why are you watching this if we're talking about the finale? Why are you here?
I do that sometimes for some shows. Now, some of the things that happen, I want to get into specifics that happen in this episode. So one of the things that I wasn't... First of all, the choreography, the fight choreographies, dude, for this series as a whole, but for definitely this finale 2 episodes, they weren't my favorite fight scenes, but every single fight scene seems like it's professionally choreographed by Jackie Chan himself. Like every fight scene has a purpose. It almost seems like this is a real war. It's not random, which I really like about that.
Yeah, I liked book 3. Like, comparing finales, like overall, this kind of didn't really feel like a series finale, because we kind of got left of like things weren't wrapped up. First of all, where was Kai in this episode? And Opal didn't even have a speaking role.
Nope, not at all.
Yeah, and there's some characters that we didn't get closure on. But I feel like maybe if they do comics, that they might just incorporate that into it. But I feel like book 3, if somehow book 3 and book 4 were switched, then book 3, the finale would have been more like, not like epic, you know what I'm saying? Like, it would have felt different.
It would have felt different. Yeah, I definitely expected a little more for the finale. Let's talk about Prince Wu for a second. As happy and proud as I am of Prince Wu and the fact that his voice changed when he was like, "No, you're not attacking my people." Like, whoa, damn, boy, you're on hormones right now. But I thought it was a little off character, although I kind of understand why, for him to say, "Okay, I'm not gonna be king anymore." I think we need more character development for him to get to that part, or like when I wanted to be king, since he always wanted to be king. But at the same time, I do see how being so brave and noble and fighting for justice is so contagious that he was just like in the moment, like, you know what, screw being king, I'm just gonna make everybody happy. Like,
Screw doing it for Korra, because a good evacuation is its own reward.
it's his own reward. Exactly.
Yeah, I'm so glad that he got his character development that we all called, and he stepped down, and they're getting rid of the monarch, and they're going to rebuild into a republic, and I think that's good.
That's good.
The Earth Kingdom is evolving.
It's evolving. Now let's talk about Hiroshi's death. That was touching and very, very sad, and I saw it coming after
Really?
he was
I didn't
presented
see it.
in this episode, because I'm like, oh, he's in the finale. Well, he must redeem himself for everything that he's done.
By dying.
Of dying. But at the same time, I didn't want him to be the only death, because I wanted a major character death. Somebody, like when Mako it looked like he was gonna die, I was like, yes, he's gonna die, but at the same time...
Yes, Mako's dying.
Yeah, because
That
we
was the
need...
best part.
Because it was pissing me off. I was like, no, don't die, please. Like,
No, I thought Korra died at one point, when at the end and she made the spirit portal and she was just kind of floating there like she did in book 2. I thought that they died.
that she died and a new baby will be born, the new avatar.
Yep.
But
I was like, wait, no, this can't be happening right
this
now.
can't be happening. But do you think that Are you satisfied with the with Hiroshi's death as the only death, or did you
Am I
expect?
satisfied that he died?
Well, like because we need a shocker. We need something to like make us.
Yeah, because I wasn't expecting it when he came in. I thought he was just gonna like help them, and then I don't know, maybe like redeem himself at the end. Like, and he was just like, just a little bit more, Dad, come on, just a little bit more, come on, Dad, just a little bit more. And then he ejected Asami, and then squashed like the mosquito.
Squash, like-
I read somewhere that someone called that he was gonna die because when Varric was talking about how he squashes mosquitoes that land on him, and someone's like, "Oh,
he's gonna get
someone's
squashed.
gonna squash Varric." Like,
That flag.
I mean, not Varric. I mean, Hiroshi's dad.
Hiroshi. You say Hiroshi's dad? Asami's dad.
Asami's dad.
I know he's not a very well-known character. Half the people don't know his name. Like he's just not
Really?
that. Yeah, he's not that important in the. People hate him. I hate him.
In their eyes, he's
In
not
their
important.
eyes. I also want to talk about Kavera at the very end because I honestly thought that was so off. That was my biggest problem with the series. Every single villain has been a male. Now we have a female character, and she's so committed for her mission. And then at the very end, she ends up being, oh, I was abandoned when I was younger, and I'm weak and innocent. Like I'm like, that is not how. It was so off character for Kavera. I thought she was gonna go all the way, fully committed.
I wasn't thinking that at all. I was just thinking because she's finally realizing, okay, this battle I can't win, and all of those feelings that she tried to suppress by doing this started to come back up again, and she's like, don't try to pretend you don't know how like I feel. You weren't an orphan. People love you, and now she's realizing people hate me, and I'm just causing what I wanted to prevent in the first place. So I don't think it was off character at all. I think she was just coming to realize that what she was doing is wrong and bad for the world.
I disagree because I think the moment you start doing something so bad, like killing innocent people, you already know you're doing something bad. It's not like she.
I don't think she know because she didn't realize that like at that extent because she's just like, well, you know, if you surrendered, this wouldn't have happened in the first place. But she's just Kuvira does things because it's for her cause. Even if that means killing people who are getting in the way. Her
Like
goal was her goal was to just reunite the Earth Kingdom and do it any way she sees fit and the most efficient way. And then we saw her way, which was purging people that weren't of Earth Kingdom origins. And she just wanted power, ultimately. But then at the end, she finally came to realize that it was wrong. And she felt bad for what she was doing.
Here's the big question we should answer. Let's see what our answer is. Did Kuvira love Vitar? Now,
No, not at all.
I think she did.
I don't think she did.
I think she did. At first, I think she didn't. I thought she didn't like him at all. But the fact that she did like hesitate, and then at the end told him like I love you, and like because like you're saying that she didn't know what she was doing was wrong and things like that. But I think like in that moment she made the decision like I'm gonna do something bad for the greater good of my goal. I'm gonna kill the person that I love even though I don't want to. And then because at the end she kind of regretted everything. I think she did. I think it does show that she did have feelings for him. Just like
maybe at the beginning she did like him, but then she just got so caught up in her cause that she kind of cast Vitar like to the side and didn't love him, because when Vitar was like, I love you, Kuvira, she didn't even say anything, and she kind of had this like smirk on her face like, yeah, we'll see. And then that I love you at the end was totally fake. That wasn't real at all. There was no emotion. She was just like, I love you, Vitar, but I don't really love you, but because I'll kill you right now. If she really loved him, she would have just backed off.
I don't know, her goal is so big though. Well, I do want to talk about the new spirit portal, because that is a little tricky. First of all, we know there's a north and a south pole, and they balance each other out. So now that you have this third spirit portal, I mean, it seems like everything's okay, but I'm just wondering, like, are things gonna be a little weird now, like, because we have a third spirit portal? and also the fact that we have a third spirit portal, and that at the end, Asami and Korra going inside. Is that alluding to possibly, which I highly doubt, if there's ever a season 5, it will continue off with the new spirit portal changing things and causing some weird off balance.
I get what you're saying. How it's originally in North Pole, South Pole balance each other out, and now you have one just kind of randomly somewhere, and then if you want it to be balanced, you'd have to have it on the other side. I see what you're saying. How it's going to be unbalanced now, and yeah, maybe that's the comic, rebalancing the world.
That could be season 5 if there ever is one. Could go out with that spirit portal. Is there anything else you want to talk about that happened in the finale before we talk about Korrasami? Any other major? I do think that part of the reason why this wasn't my favorite finale is because they didn't implement. They gave us a lot of fan service, like Toph. They bring her back was totally fan service, but at the same time they didn't implement her as much as we wanted. It's kind of like a little tease. So I wish we got to see a little bit more of her kicking some ass.
Another fan service again. I think Varric and Julie's wedding.
Yo, saw that coming. That was beautiful. Will you do the thing for the rest of our lives? Oh man, I was like, no, he didn't just say that.
I was like, when did Bolin become a priest?
When did Bolin become a priest? Oh, yes, that's what I wanted to talk about too. Okay, 1, what the hell was the water tribe during all this? 2, Bolin and Oppo. Like, we didn't get any closure, like you said before. Like what?
They obviously made up because there's a scene at the end where it's kind of like above the party, and you see Oppo dragging Bolin to the dance floor. So they made up and they're back together.
Yeah, they're back together. Oh yeah, he's having a good time now. Nice.
And what do you mean the water tribe?
Like the water tribe, like Korra's dad, Bolin's
Eska and Desna.
Yeah, them. Like where the whole world is pretty much threatened by Kuvera, and where was the Fire Kingdom, Fire Nation? Where was the water? There's 2 water tribes now.
Well, I guess because the majority of all of the battle was in Republic City, because Republic City was like connected with the Earth Kingdom lands, and obviously the Fire Nation backed out because it was a pointless war, and maybe the water tribes believe that too. And also President Raigo called in the United Forces to help, so they had that too, even though they didn't do anything. They surrendered, and that was the last we saw of them. So I guess it wasn't like right for them to be in it, or they just saw it as pointless.
They thought it was pointless. And I guess the last thing I want to talk about is Kuvera and Korra, because we always thought that Kuvera was stronger than Korra, but I think you called it out too, that now that like after she took the poison out and after she was gonna be back to normal, there's no way Kuvera would stand a chance against her. And she didn't stand a chance.
No.
Against the Avatar. Not at all. Which is why she lost earlier, was because she was crippled. That's the only reason.